Hey ladies, I am back again after a bit of a break from going on vacation and having family over. And today I have a video that is special for any of you ladies that consider yourself successful or alpha female or a high achiever. If you have ever been in the situation when you're like, men can't keep up with you, kind of like you feel like you're too much for them, or they think you're too much, or they can't keep up, or they're intimidated, or whatever it is that is making you feel like your success is kind of getting on the way of getting a relationship. So I know that a lot of us have, you know, since we were little, perhaps wanted to be someone who achieved her dreams, someone who was a go-getter, from day one. You had a lot of dreams, um, aspirations, and that kind of thing, right? So you have made a whole identity about your success and being a high achiever and being a go-getter and being independent. Okay. So there's been blood, sweat, and tears, perhaps to achieve your goals and get to where you are. And it took you a while, and it's been your everything. And you made it literally your persona, and that's fine. That's great. And I think when you talk to your friends and family and your therapist and everyone about your success and things, right? It's fantastic. You're going to get a lot of support. You're going to get all the validation. You're going to feel great being in this energy when you're with friends and family. But when we become successful, when we are go-getters, when we're alpha females, okay, what we're doing is develop and use our masculine energy. Okay, this is not a bad thing. This is fantastic, because there is such a thing as an imbalance in too much feminine energy at the wrong place and time. Developing your masculine energy, I think, makes you a powerhouse for sure. It really does. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that the dream woman has a fantastic balance of feminine and masculine energy. So all that doing, achieving, and things, this is your masculine energy. So with that being said, there is a place and time for your masculine energy. And when you're dating, when you're interacting with men, this is not the place and time to lead with that energy. At work, in your business, that kind of stuff, sure, you're not looking to create polarity there. But when you are dating and want to create attraction and love and all those things, you're looking for something that is called polarity. And polarity, what it is dissimilarity. Okay? So he will be black, you will be white. He will be yin and you will be yang, or whatever, right? I can't remember which one's the feminine, yin or yang, I forget now. So the more similar you are, the less attraction, the less polarity, the less magnetism towards each other. Okay? So you don't want to come into a date being the masculine energy. You don't want to come into a date being the masculine when what you're seeking is a masculine man. Okay? So I've coached some women that had the idea that by them being killer businesswoman, rich and successful, kind of like attracts like. They were thinking this logic, right? Where they're thinking, if I'm successful, I'm gonna attract a successful guy. Yes and no. Like attracts like, in that you will attract someone in the same frequency of vibration and consciousness level as you. But when it comes to attraction and polarity, he's looking for not the opposite, but it's called the reciprocal. Excuse me. So the reciprocal of a man that is successful, of a man that has created a lot of financial, abundance and wealth and things, he has created it so that he can give it to you, or to the dream woman, to the woman of his dreams. So women, they don't ever, or I've never met a woman in my life that wanted to create success and wealth to provide for a man. Okay? She wanted to do it for herself, maybe to prove something to herself, to whatever. But a man that does that, he does it for the woman of his dreams, not for himself. So men are into cars, but they're into cars because they want to show off and attract a female of whatever caliber that is, in the same vibration. So he is looking for the woman who can receive, who knows how to receive, who will be the feminine end. The feminine end is there to receive. And when you come in talking about all your success and this and that, and it's very, very tempting. It's very, very tempting to talk about this. In fact, let's talk about the practical aspect of this. What do you do when a man asks you on a date what you do for a living? What do you do? Just like you are sizing up and gauging a man when you ask the same to him, he's doing that to you. It's a trick. All the questions are trick questions, if you will. And it's a test. And how do you answer this question? So this is not to minimize you. This is not to dim your light, dim your sparkle. None of that. The following is so that you can come with a feminine energy rather than the masculine. So say you're, I don't know, let's use myself for example. Instead of saying, I am a badass woman who makes a bunch of money and I am a businesswoman and, this and that, I might say, I teach women to be in their feminine energy online. That's it. And he'll say, I don't know, tell me more. I'll be like, yeah, no, it's fantastic. I love to be able to add value to their lives and make a human connection and add to the collective. That's it. So I would, going back to the feminine, I'm there to receive his information and his energy. So I go back to him. Go back to, listening to him speak. Mm-hmm. Last thing you want to do is talk about yourself this whole time, because now you're an open book. He's receiving you rather than you receiving him, etc. So instead of coming off leading with your career, you might mention, kind of what you do with the spin on feminine. So when I used to, be younger, luckily, I wasn't so deep into career and money and things, right? Or I guess not luckily, because I had an intention to marry on the younger side, right? So I didn't kind of bump into having that as an identity, like my career and success and things, right? I think I had more of an adventure sort of side to myself and fun. So that leads me to the next point. The purpose of you being on a date is to enchant. When you are in your feminine, you're there to enchant and cause all kinds of sensations and feelings. Not to be interviewing a man, not to be talking about your success and your career and be validated. Now, I said it was tempting to talk about that, especially when you are with a successful alpha man. You'll be very tempted to be like, oh, look, I'm like you. Kind of like you want to resonate and you want to, be like him, in that you're thinking that having this in common will bring you together. So what can happen, and will very likely happen, is you'll start a bomb conversation about business. In fact, I'm thinking about an example about a woman the other day that asked me, or told me, like the story about this date that she went on, where she came in talking about her business and how she makes money, and long story short, she ended up telling him that she makes 6 figures per month. And then the guy started asking her what's the exact money she makes. Okay, and look at the double-edged sword there. Look at the double meaning there. This was all when she started oversharing, right? Because she thought it was exciting to be sharing this commonality with this alpha man, this businessman, successful businessman. She got tempted, fell into the trap of, opening this conversation that takes the man into a rational state rather than a body state. Okay. So she started oversharing. He's like, okay, let's see how far she'll go. Let's see her boundaries. Okay. She goes ahead and tells him his figure, and from there, or her figure, and from there went a few other, kind of like cheeky questions, and she went on a Facebook group and, was kind of half complaining, half something, wanting to show a lesson to the group on how, men come and ask you cheeky questions on dates and things. And I'm like, well, if you hadn't overshared in the first place and came in leading with your career, you wouldn't be there. So typically these dates might feel like they went on fantastic because you guys had so much in common. And you're like, we hit it off potentially. And then you never hear back, or he'll take you out on a few other dates and he'll want to have sex with you because sure, they'll take it, especially when they see you are eager to overshare and like you have this need to talk about your career and your success because are you really that solid? Somebody that is that solid doesn't have this need to talk about how successful they are, right? In fact, when you go on a date and the guy does the same thing kind of a bit too much, you might want to watch closer. So another point that I want to make is your independence. This is good for you. This is kudos to you. That type of thing is what will help you feel like a dream woman. And as a result, you will project that, and he will see that in you. Okay. But this is something good for you to keep to yourself. Okay. The fact that you're independent and that worst comes to worst, you don't need anyone to support you financially, right? So before I forget, let me bring another point. I've coached women who were in court, who were being taken to court for a man that was trying to scam her for her money. So when you lead with your career and your money and the success and all these things, you will very likely activate the wrong switch in the man. You will activate the predator mode in the man. Kind of like, oh, awesome, here's a free meal. Okay. So women that dealt with the issue of a man taking advantage of her in terms of money, or her being the provider, breadwinner, and it went south as it typically does, this is why you have led with your career, money, success, or were paying for things, and then you got yourself a predator. The same person that can be a predator to you can be a protector and provider for the woman that can receive and can be in her feminine, right? So the other point that I wanted to make is, yes, you're independent and things, and this is great for you, but this is not something you come into a date with a man and be like, oh, I'm so independent and I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I want a man who is so and so and so. This comment is totally not only off-putting, but it's unnecessary, right? If a man is not needed, like if you don't make a man feel like he's needed, he will go with the woman that will make him feel needed. Why? Because the man is a giver and the woman is, or a feminine woman is a receiver. Okay? So even if you have the capability of providing for your own self, yada, 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 keep it to yourself and allow the man to give to you. Give you affection, give you material things, give you this, and that. And watch the man blossom and flourish and feel like the alpha man that he is. And mind you, the majority of men have that ability to be that if you put yourself in the role of receiver. Alrighty? So before this gets too long, guys, before you go on a date, think about, you know, the time when you were the most fun, the time where you were the most laid back and chill. So you are to go on a date to have fun, to be in the moment, enjoying everything around you, the food, the company, everything. And this is where you're lighthearted, fun, all those things that you also are. Because you're not just a money-making machine or a hard worker. You're not just those things. You're also someone who, you know, is charming, who is fun and can laugh and has a sense of humor and can enchant a man, because that's how you make him fall for you. So ladies, that's it for now. So I hope you find this useful. Let me know in the comments. And just to let you know that, you know, you are enough as you are without anything else. You, literally you as you are enough and worthy of being given all these things from the man that you go out with. You don't need to come in. What you bring to the table is not your success, or else you're going to attract the reciprocal of that, a man who needs your money. Okay? So anyway, that's it for now, and stay tuned for the other videos coming up. Alrighty, like and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye.